Hi guys, this is a super random and unscripted video, and I might be jumping from point to point and maybe not really making sense because this is not scripted. I didn't write down anything for this except yesterday when I was thinking about making this video, I wrote down like a few points that I just want to touch on. But this is something I've been thinking about for a really long time, and it's sort of a sensitive topic as well. But skinny is not the default. If you look at my other videos on my channel, I didn't really mean for this channel to become like a rant channel or anything like that. I just thought that this topic is like really important. I have a feeling that other people out there feel the same way I do, because all my life it feels like I've been chasing a standard, chasing a certain body type, and it's like, why? You know, I feel like all my life I'm actually 16. I turned 16 on April 16th, and I feel like my whole life, ever since I was a kid, yes, since I was a kid, I remember like maybe when I turned 7, 8, all I could think about was just being in a smaller body, being slimmer, having less fat, having less chub, you know? And I grew up with a pretty slim sister. Like, no matter what she ate, this girl was just slim. Like, that's just her body type, you know? And in turn, that made me the chubbier sister. And it's like, I feel like my whole life, I've kind of just not wanted to be labeled. Like, yes, my sister is slim, but that doesn't make me chubby. And it feels like people have just been talking about my body and things and me and all that stuff, and it's like, my parents have said some really like off comments about us, and I know they probably don't mean to, like, you know, say something, but it feels like it, you know? I remember once my dad was like, oh, your sister eats so much, but she doesn't show it. You, on the other hand, you look like you eat. And I was like, I really didn't like that. And it's like, it made me feel a certain way that I don't want to feel. And it's like, all my life, I've always been told that I was like chubby, and like people wanted to make sure I knew that I was not slim. And it's like, I get that. And I'm not fat, I'm not overweight, I'm not anything. I just have a bit of meat on my bones. My stomach's not flat, nothing like that. And I feel like I've always just been chasing this standard to be slimmer, slimmer, slimmer. Like my whole life. I can't think of a time where I wasn't feeling self-conscious about the way I looked, which is kind of sad, because like I think the only time that I didn't feel self-conscious was before the age of 7, which is like, that means for majority of my life I've been worried about how my body looks, and I shouldn't have to spend so much energy thinking about how I look, how other people see me. Do these jeans make me look fat? Like, I don't want to have to worry about that all the time, you know? And subconsciously, in like the media, things we watch, things we listen to, the big back trend, all of that stuff, I feel like we're all chasing just an ideal, a certain body type. And it's just like, why? You don't have to do that. You can just be yourself. Like, that is allowed. And I feel like my whole life, this is the first time that I actually thought about that. I don't have to be skinny. I can be who I want to be. I don't have to be slim. I don't have to be flat stomach. Because I felt like that would be the only way that I would be confident. But I feel like I need to start building confidence in my body. Because I exist in a very healthy body. There's nothing wrong with it. And I don't have to keep chasing that goal. I think like a part of me kind of started chasing this ideal kind of because like how, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this word on YouTube, but it's like how like people perceive bigger, curvier, more like full bodies. And it's like sometimes I'm a little worried about like growing up into my adult female body, and it's like, you know, you start to have curves and things like that, and you kind of like don't want people looking at you in a certain way, so you kind of feel like if I shrink, if I get slimmer, if I lose the fat, people won't stare at me in that way. And that comes from like another like how dysfunctional our society is, that different body types are seen and responded to differently, especially for like curvy women, like just naturally having curves. It's not like you didn't choose it, and it's like it's not an invitation for you to stare at them. And I just find it weird how our society treats like fuller body types, and it's like really disgusting. And I really think that we have to reform that system, because a part of me was like, oh my gosh, I just wish I wasn't so chubby here and here. And it's like, because I don't want people to stare. I think that's like another thing that kind of chased me, kind of pushed me to like chase a smaller body type almost. Okay, so this video was like super scattered, but like that was kind of, this is kind of the end. I just wanted to like get that out quickly, and I can't wait to see like what you guys think as well, or if you guys feel the same way. I really want to hear it from other people as well, because I think it's nice to hear other people's opinions, definitely. So leave your questions or leave like your experiences in the comment section. I'm begging you. And just remember, like, you don't have to do what society's telling you to do. Like, don't let society think that you have to be a certain way. You have to be a clean girl, you have to be a certain body type, you have to be a certain whatever. You don't have to be what other people want you to be. You can just be yourself. And I also thought about this as well. As long as you're healthy mentally and physically, you're fine. You don't have to, like, cosmetics doesn't matter, the outside doesn't matter, as long as internally your body's healthy, your mind is healthy, and you will be healthy. Like, there is no look for health. There is no like there's no like ideal for health. There's no body type for health. Everybody is different. And of course, if you want to look a certain way that badly, you can, but maybe you should address your confidence first, because you have no idea if when you finally get that body type or you finally achieve that standard, are you gonna stop there? And it's like, it's a very slippery slope when people do something to gain confidence. Like, you have to kind of have it in yourself before you go and chase something, because it could easily become something else, like chasing unnecessary things. So gain confidence in yourself and who you are first before you think about changing, especially because you don't know when you'd stop. You don't know, like, if you finally achieve that body type, are you going to be confident in it if you haven't worked on your confidence, you know? And yeah, that's like the end of the video. So bye. leave your experiences in the comments, and let me know if you want me to just like rant more often